I woke up to find myself with a strange illness. If I didn't kiss someone, I'd suffer unbearably, and might even die. The man who once loved me deeply abandoned me, seeing me as a monster. In desperation, I climbed into his roommate's bed. Unexpectedly, his roommate pinned me down instead. I was hungry. So hungry I was about to lose consciousness. I didn't even hear the door unlock. I curled up on Itamdras's bed, clutching his shirt and inhaling its scent frantically. The bed curtains were suddenly pulled open. "Hey, Tom, what are you?" I took 2 steps back, my shoulder against the wall, watching him warily. He was Etam's roommate, from a wealthy family but with a terrible temper. Victor Carr was also startled. "What? Miss? Who are you?" Seeing that I didn't answer, he drew the curtains closed again, lowering his voice. "Really? Bringing someone back to the dormitory without telling me, Etam?" He walked further away, calling Etam's name everywhere. He thought Etam was still in the dormitory. Actually, Etam had already left. He left me here alone. Victor searched around but found no one, leaning by the door as he called Etam. "His phone is off?" He looked in my direction. "What's going on?" I knew Etam had turned off his phone long ago, because I had made many calls. At first, he rejected the calls. Later, he turned it off. After a while, Victor returned helplessly, placing his hand on the edge of the bed and tapping lightly. "Miss, can we discuss this? Could you go stay somewhere else?" But I caught the scent of food. This aroma I had only ever smelled on Etam. Putting down the clothes in my hands, I slowly moved towards the edge of the bed. Through the gap in the curtains, I saw Victor standing there. "In principle, I should leave and let you stay since I'm a man. But I don't have any money right now. No money means equality between men and women. I don't want to sleep on the streets, and besides, this is my dorm room. It's all my father's fault for kicking me out of the house." Victor's hands, with slender fingers and clearly defined knuckles. I slowly opened my mouth. Victor screamed as I bit him. "Sorry, I'm hungry." I felt very embarrassed. Victor rubbed his wrist, looking up at me, frowning. "Hunger is one thing, but you biting me is another." Victor doesn't live in the dorm much, so he had no snacks. He found a cup of instant noodles at Etam's place. "Instant noodles? Want some?" Sitting on a stool, I looked up at him and shook my head. "I don't eat this." Victor leaned against the desk, folding his arms and looking at me impatiently. "Don't you say you're starving?" I stared at him for a moment. "Eating that won't help." "Sorry, I'm already starving." "No use! Then what do you want to eat? What does Etam buy for you to eat?" "Stone crop salad." Victor fell silent for a moment. "Refined." He shrugged, spinning the cup of instant noodles in one hand as he passed by me. "If you don't want it, I'll eat it." I suddenly stood up, placing both hands on his shoulders and pushing him against the cabinet. Victor raised an eyebrow, surprised. "How could you look so cute while have such strong strength?" "No, I need to eat first." I looked up at him, swallowing. "How about letting me kiss you?" "What are you saying?" He seemed to doubt his own ears. Ignoring his shock, I grabbed his collar and kissed him. As soon as I touched his lips, I felt better. It really is a substitute meal. But then I was pushed away. "What are you doing?" "You. Aren't you Etam's girlfriend?" Victor placed one hand on my shoulder and wiped his lips with the pads of his fingers. He grew angrier the more he thought about it, hesitating as he looked at me. "Are you his girlfriend? You're not some pervert, are you? Wearing a hooded sweatshirt, sneaking into the boys' dorm, and forcibly kissing handsome me. My life is ruined because I'm so good looks." He pulled off my hat and suddenly widened his eyes. "This is..." I hurriedly released him, using both hands to cover the goat horns on my head. My face flushed red with embarrassment. "You've discovered my secret. I'll kill you." Victor, being choked by me, turned red, his voice becoming strained. He managed to say 3 words with great difficulty. "Miss Shawn?"